What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of the Web Buzz Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Tiberio, joined, as always, you guys know him, we love him. Sometimes I like to pick on him. The guy that... He was that guy in the background, actually. The guy that knows so many codes, he could hack China if he wanted to. Mr. Roger Valdez, what's going on, my brother?
Oh man, you put me up there, man. That's worldwide right there.
That is.
I like it though. I like it. No, doing well. Like always excited to kind of join the podcast, get some stuff going. But overall, man, I heard just checking out the news and everything. Me being on an island, I just want to hope that wish everybody out in the East Coast, Midwest, even all that snow that's dumping over there. Hopefully everybody's staying warm. Even Texas, I have a lot of friends in Texas. Very surprised. So regardless, hopefully everybody's doing well out here. I'll just let you know we're still staying warm. Looking out the window. The sun is shining. I don't want to even start there, but we'll go from there. Good to be here, guys.
I think it's the one time that they could say not everything is bigger in Texas because they've only got a handful of inches. But man, I guess it is bigger in Texas because that couple of inches really knocked them for a loop down there in the kind of the whole Midwest. I saw one of our clients playing in the snow, doing a snow angel on some video on his Facebook page earlier today up in, I think it was the Oklahoma area. And then, yes, our East Coasters. Matter of fact, I was talking to some of our East Coast clients earlier today and they were joking. They're like, I know family of yours is back this way, but you got out of here in time because it has just been like one storm after the next since you left there a few weeks ago. And I'm kind of with you here in LA. It's kind of nice and sunny and warm out there today. I'm in t-shirts. So we do hope the best for everybody, though. Not everybody's got the luxury of having power and all of that. All jokes aside, there are some struggles, and it is. And if you're one of the watchers, the listeners, one of those that are in those areas, I hope everything's going safe. I hope you're doing well, and I hope things kind of get back to normal relatively soon for you. So, other than that, though, you doing well, Roger? You ready for today?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I love the notes, the little powwow that we had right before this call. Right before the podcast went live here, I think we have another really good one, another one full of action items that everybody can take and do very well. That's in a way, once we start getting, not to give too much away, but in a way, it's almost like an untapped market or untapped strategy. With that said,
I would agree. I don't know if it's completely untapped. I think it's undertapped. Would maybe be a different way of saying that. Right? Because those that are tapping into it are seeing some killer results. But I don't think enough people are tapped into it.
It's new. It's new as well. Just like anything in technology. I was just actually talking to a few friends a couple days ago, just regular conversation. And they were asking me what I do, friends here in Guam that we just met and, getting to know them. And it's hard explaining what we do as we do, put content out there on the podcast, but overall our business at Top Results is a digital agency, right? And we do digital marketing. And I started explaining SEO and all this stuff. And sometimes I get stuck trying to really explain.
That's why you just gotta use my intro lines. Just tell your friends I manipulate Google.
I think I just gotta go, introduce myself that way.
Hi, my name's Roger.
Might be a little easier.
I secretly hack Google. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. And I think everybody starts getting a little lost too when I start to, I help people, try to kind of rank on page 1 of Google so they can get more eyeballs, right? Around their brand and everything.
Right.
They're like, wait a minute, there's a page 2 on Google? So most people don't even know there's a page 2 and beyond, right? They assume that when they search something on Google, that automatically that's it. That's the only businesses in business in that industry or that product or whatever. So it's really funny.
That's funny. So we got some of our clients joining on. Mickey says hello. Mickey also says, yep, We're prepping for the fourth storm in February. We wish you the best, like we said at the start of this. But that is funny that they wonder what it is that you do and where where all. Unfortunately, those that tune into this show know there's more than one page of Google.
Yep.
Hence why they're tuning in and want to be a little bit more into this. So if you guys are tuning in live, do feel free to say something in the comment box. Let us know how you're doing and whatnot. We got some others kind of popping in here today. Do you guys do web design? I just got this notification through Facebook. Was curious what this is. Well, you're in the right place, my friend, and we absolutely do web design. If you want to know a little bit more about Roger and Shawn and everybody here at the Top Results team, just head over to topresultsconsulting.com. Check us out. Feel free to jump on, book yourself a time. We'll get on a call. We'll explain a little bit more and see how we can help you. So funny that comment came in, though, on today's topic and what we're doing.
Yes.
Folks, we're about to
thank you, by the way. Thank you for putting that comment in there. It basically segues right into what we're going to be talking about today.
Totally does. What was their name again? Where was that? I don't even know how to say that. It's somebody's seamless gutters company. So it's a seamless, I could see the picture. So somebody's seamless
gutters. It's a company profile, I believe, or maybe, someone using a personal profile as their company profile, but that's great. No, that's
absolutely
fine.
And if you're still on watching live, I'm going to use you as an example. And if you reach out to us and book a time to talk, I'm going to hook you up for letting us use you as this example. Because you couldn't have said it any better. I just got a notification. Here they are saying something again. Yep. Okay. So it's where they're at in New Jersey. I don't want to butcher that town name, but it's the name of the town in New Jersey. They're a gutter company. But I brought this comment back up here as we segue into today's topic. We're talking today about video and the power of video and why video in a business, whether you're product-based, service-based, doesn't matter. We're getting into a topic today that's really a big buzz around the web right now. But I love this right here. I just got this notification through Facebook. Video. We went live. Facebook. We're live in like 4 different places on Facebook right now. It pinged the algorithm. It sent some things out. One of those places is our Top Results Consulting Facebook page. There's an algorithm. There's ideal audiences that fit that. And somebody somehow, that gutter company, they got a notification. Hey, Top Results. Maybe it's Shawn. Maybe it's Roger. I don't know which page that it's on right now that pinged that notification. But they're saying, hey, what was this? I want to tune into this, right? And before we get too deep into the video side and everything, this is why video, like if we don't talk about any of the other purposes and reasons behind it today, this is why video is so powerful and so impactful and why we're going to drop a bunch of gold bars today around this topic. So anything you want to chime in with there first, Roger, before we get too deep here?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate. I want to make sure that doesn't slip through the cracks on what happened and what you're trying to drive home there. That if we weren't on right now, we wouldn't have had that opportunity to meet this person that just pinged us right now that might book a call. And who knows, maybe we can help him out on his existing, online presence, or maybe he becomes one of our clients. That is the whole point. For a business, you got to put yourself out there. And that's basically what we're about to dive in there on what you can do, what's happening right now, a couple stats, and give you some action items that you can take to do somewhat of what we're doing here to try to kind of drive some attention to your brands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So today, as we said, we're getting into the video side of things. Why video? And I've got a couple stats that I'm going to bring in throughout this. So be sure, tune in kind of throughout the whole entire thing to get the whole picture of it. But I want to open up with this first stat, and then Roger, kind of have you kind of build off of this here in a second. But this one blew me away. So a lot of these stats are coming from, you guys know, Top Results Consulting. We're HubSpot certified partners, HubSpot certified agency. Under that, I get a lot of different content pieces pretty much daily into my inbox from HubSpot. These stats are from a survey that HubSpot did across the tens of thousands of different businesses that they kind of do business with, right? They surveyed a lot of people. And of that pool of people, that they surveyed, 86% of businesses said that video is a marketing tool in their business. Now, to not just keep it at that context, videos become a little more pop. It kind of hit the scene 2014, 2015. I think Periscope was one of the first video platforms. Then soon after that, Facebook kind of overtook it, brought out the Facebook Live feature. Looking back at that 2015, 2016, it was only about 50 to 60% of businesses at the time. So about half, a little over half, would actually dabble with some video. To see that shift to get up to about 86% as we left 2020, just think of that for a second. That's 8.6 out of every 10 businesses that you look at use video in some capacity in their marketing. So if you're a business owner not using video, you're basically trying to play in this small pool of barely 2.4, 2.3% of the businesses not using it. And there's some other stats we're going to talk about here in a little bit to really shake that message right there up. But what do you have to say to that first, Roger? Just hearing that number, 86%, 8.6 out of every 10 businesses use it.
It's huge. It's absolutely mind blowing, right? How quick this is catching fire, and how successful it's being, and why is it doing that? It's basically why should you even care about video? Why should you hop on? I don't feel comfortable around video. Like, let's talk about the fears and everything. Why should you, in a way, suck it up, right? And start doing it? Because most of us, and I when we're talking about our notes before the show, I even told Shawn I fall under some of those stats there myself, because a lot of us don't have time or don't want to read a blog post or some kind of page to get me the information. I will go to the page, I'll see the content, but in reality, a lot of us are visual learners. So we'll read through it and we won't get it exactly what you're trying to say. So we click on the video, or we'll just go straight to the video and watch it. If we can see step by step what you're talking about, a lot of us tend to get that information a lot quicker and understand it, and possibly make that decision to buy or hire you for the particular service. In this case, we have our friend here from Abscon, New Jersey. I believe that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but for the gutters, right? Just a quick list, since we have him on here and he interacted here. I want to give him a little bit of a gold bar, right? Let's drop a gold bar real quick for our friend. All right, that was awesome.
Quick little gold bar moment.
Oh man, that's the first one. That's the video. But an easy win for you would be when you go out there and you look. If you don't have a presence, let's just say you did have a website and you had a YouTube channel, maybe that's everything's interconnected, and you wanted to get some momentum, right? The best thing that you can do is answer questions for your clients. Gutters. Right now is a perfect time. You have a lot of snow going on. You have a bad time. This is when people start looking, hey, something's leaking, something's not right. I'm going to go on Google, or I'm going to go on YouTube and see how to fix that thing that's leaking. Might be my gutter, whatnot. This is a perfect time to go outside, take your camera, shoot a couple things on the ideal situation. This is how a gutter should look. This is what a bad gutter looks like. Look for or make a list of all the different questions you get. You guys, as a professional in your industry, you guys are the ones getting all these questions. For us as a digital agency, we're always getting the questions: why don't I appear on Google? What do I have to do to appear on Google? How can I get more leads? What else can I do outside of Google to get more leads for my business? For this gutter company, this is basically, how can you grab the attention of people that need that help? And it's not always direct sales, right? Say, hey, I do gutters, I fix gutters. Do you need help? Right? I can put some gutters. It's all about giving them value first, right? Doing these videos, doing these blog posts, putting that value out there to your community in general. Just put it out there that you know what you're doing. You can become the authority. And the video, to Shawn's point, because that's the topic today, just tends to convey that message a lot better to a larger segment of the network out there, of people looking online, because we're all, I don't want to say, I know sometimes I get thrown around, people are getting lazy. No, that's not it. It's just time. Time is valuable. And when you have a video that can explain it quickly and we can visually see what's happening, people tend to make decisions, buying decisions from that. So video has become super, super powerful.
Absolutely. And when we look at the trend, remember I said kind of hit the scene, video becoming a little bit more predominant or kind of a thing around that 2015 kind of piece. Not that it wasn't there before. It's just finally 2015 is where it kind of picked up its steam with live video and some of the other ways marketers would use video in it. But one of the other stats that kind of stood out in this survey that they did, 2020 changed the landscape in a lot of different ways of marketing. We've talked about it on a number of different episodes here on the Web Buzz podcast. But one of the things that it really did change was the amount of time consumers, right? The customer prospect spent on video. And the stat number that came out, 68% of the consumers that were surveyed said the pandemic actually impacted the amount of video content they watched, with a 96% of that group saying it increased. So almost 100%, 96%, 9.6 out of every 10 people they talked to said, yes, 2020, the pandemic, more time on my hand meant more time to watch video when it came to marketing and advertising. Right? Obviously, we're not talking video like Netflix and Hulu and shows. We're talking video marketing techniques, 96% more consumption than out of that group. 68% of people saying yes, it impacted me. I spend more time watching video on that. So what would you say, Roger, to the business that's saying, I mean, just those two stats right there. And I know we've got a couple clients that just Monday night we had this talk with them that are like, I'm a little afraid to get in front of the camera. I'm a little afraid of, what somebody might think of me in front of that camera. Hearing this makeup now, what would you say to them?
Well, I first of all, I have to drive home those stats again and again, right? Because it's the reality of it. Kind of when we all became entrepreneurs or we're going into business on our own, it's very scary, right? So what I would say, first of all, look at the data. We're a very what we call data-driven type of company. We'd like to help not only us internally for our business, but we like to help our clients make data-driven decisions for their business. So the data is basically telling us is that the big marketing where people are at right now is, yes, they're on Google looking things up, but one of the things that they're clicking on the most are videos. Right. So with that stat, that should tell you, hey, where is my client? Because one of the main questions we get, how can I get more leads? How can I get more attention to my brand? Well, we're giving it to you right there. Video. And not only any video, right? You're trying to put out a value. I can't stress it enough to not, if you are doing video, try not to waste your time, right? Because it takes time, it's valuable time. So you want to focus on key questions that your clients might have or key topics around a product that you sell that you want to talk about and highlight. The other thing I like to kind of add here is that every year, and it's not going down, every year there's more and more people jumping on the bandwagon of online, searching online, being online. Now that is driving the number to video as well, right? So one of the things that we've talked about a lot in past episodes, we also talk about it in our internal meeting with our clients, is that as time passes, it's going to get harder and harder to say that your industry does not get affected by pretty much the online presence, right? We used to get that quite a bit from certain people. Hey, my client, my ideal client is not online. Where it's starting really hard, it's starting to get really hard to say that because even with the pandemic, now everybody was forced. I think that was a big kind of aha moment for a lot of businesses and a big eye opener because now we were forced to get all our information through the internet. We were getting, funneled over to the everything, and all the businesses that were not set up, they were scrambling, and a lot of them, unfortunately, many of them, kind of are not going to be able to come back to the market, right? So everybody that either was in the middle of it, thinking about it, or already was ahead, are the ones kind of hanging on, right? So for you guys right now, make sure that you understand that stat, that every year there's going to be more and more people that are going to get better at using the internet, which means you need to get on there, whether it's a website, whether it's your social media presence. But the one stat that we continue to see go up is the interaction with video. So that's what I would say. If you really want to kind of get serious about driving some new attention, some new leads, video is going to be the direction you want to go here in the near future, if you're
It's
not
funny
already.
you bring that up, because I wasn't planning on bringing this part up until you just said that. 2020, they're calling 2020 the year of webinar. The year of webinar. Why? Previous years, webinar. So if you're in the marketing space at all, if you've tracked or paid attention to anything marketing for business, webinars have always been a phenomenal way. Well, what's a webinar? It's a video. It's a video chance to sell or discuss or deliver information about a product or service. Previous years, only about 46% of marketing agencies, marketing companies, marketing teams for businesses said that they used webinars. 2020, that number jumped from 46% to 62% of businesses saying that they used webinars as a trend to open up another sales funnel, in a sense. So to Roger's point, why are more businesses using something like the webinar? It's because the end consumer, your prospect, is becoming more and more comfortable doing certain things online, being involved in certain things, whether that be social media, YouTube, and at the end of the day, YouTube and Facebook are the leaders in the video space. YouTube kind of leads the way, Facebook shortly behind, simply because YouTube's more long term, it sticks and is searchable, whereas Facebook not so much. But again, take a look at this podcast. We're leveraging both platforms. Right now, we're live on Facebook. And as of later this week, first part of next week, this will live forever like it does with all the other videos onto YouTube. And we're going to talk briefly for sure and get Roger's insight on why do we do it that way? Why use the different platforms for it? But I just wanted to drive that piece home that you're 100% correct. More and more users are getting comfortable. And because of that, we're seeing more and more businesses. I want to hit this real quick before we shift. It may sound like video's hitting its peak, like saturation is inevitable here. Yes and no is kind of what I would say. Yes, more businesses are using video, therefore the competition around video is up there. However, it's becoming easier and easier to make your own high quality videos, very valuable videos. Therefore, the competition really isn't around who's got the best quality. It's now back to knowledge, expertise, information, the value of it, right? You don't need to go hire a ginormous video production company or some videographer. Look, Roger and I produce this by ourselves. Everything that you
That's
see
right.
right now looks good, sounds good, and it's just him and I. There's nobody else standing in here. It's not multi-camera. It's not, a huge audio engineer. Sure. Did I study? Did I learn some stuff? Did we invest and get a couple things to make it this way? Absolutely. But that's the point. We were able to do that internal to our own team. Our own team handles all the post elements to this, and it drives a very good result from it. So yes, saturation is growing. However, it's kind of like an even playing field where content, the value, what the person's receiving from you is ultimately the more important piece. Thoughts on that?
Absolutely. The value is going to be number one. So that's something we're going to continue to kind of push. We're going to continue to teach on. But if you're, once again, if you're putting just anything out there that's not value, that's not related to your industry, then you're not going to see a lot of value with your push on your campaigns with video, right? What you need to really focus on are the questions. I'm going to go back to what I just said at the beginning of the podcast is you need to make, you are the expert, right? You are the person that the expert, that the authority be in your space. So you should be making a list. You should always have a list of all these questions that people have within your business. When you're going through a sales call, you're going to get these questions. So write them down, and those are your video topics. The other thing I love what Shawn said here is there's a lot of platforms that are making it very easy for you to produce nice videos, kind of like what we're doing here with the podcast. But does it always have to be that way? Not really. I'm going to go back to our friend here with the gutter company, right? It's like if I was looking for someone that's doing gutters, that's going to help me do that, I want to see him videoing outside, right, with his iPhone, right, walking around showing me what that is. So is that going to be a high quality production video? Absolutely not. I am 100% okay watching this person walk around a house and showing me how it is. We do a lot of stuff in real estate, a lot of stuff in for real estate investors and contractors that are doing stuff, and that's what they do, and that's where we see a lot of interaction, because now people like to buy services and products from people they trust, right? So when someone actually the big word of mouth and lead generation and things like that is just normal off away from digital marketing is word of mouth, actually. So if I trust somebody, and somebody tells me to go buy this product or service because they trust that person, and that person's my friend that's recommending, I'll probably go do it. So if you don't have that and you're doing it online, that video helps you connect, right? So words can do so much, but the video now helps you connect with that ideal client. So if you're answering a question, imagine this. I need help with my gutters. I go on YouTube. It's like, my gutter is leaking. It's snowing. I'm in New Jersey. I'm freaking out, right? I need some help here. So I go on Google and search, gutter services, fix whatever, right? And I happen to be in Abscon, New Jersey. Well, I'm probably going to append that or add that to my search, just so Google knows that where I need someone in that area. Well, everybody that does it, the companies that are doing the right thing, they will pop up on that page one, and I will choose one of those. Now, this is the difference. You might be ranking number one, but if I click on your stuff and you just have a ton of content, right? No images, no samples, no before and afters, no video, right? I'm probably going to read through the first paragraph and be like, I don't have time for this. My gutter's leaking. I need to know now, right? So I'm going to click on the next one and the next one till I see some visual media, meaning some images, some video. And I'll probably stop on the video. I'll be honest with you. I'll probably stop on the video and click it. And if it's our friend here walking around the house with his iPhone showing me what I have to do, or maybe I can call him right away if this is what's happening, I'm probably going to jump on that phone and call. So that's kind of I just walked you through the actual user experience and how video can become very, very powerful. And
Folks,
I kind of guided you where to put it.
that was a, you know what? That was a huge gold bar moment right there, baby. I've been waiting for that.
You just catch me, and I roll. Once I get in my groove, I roll.
He does, folks. He does. You probably can't see. I can sense it, though. I can sense. We got Roger on his soapbox there for a second, and he was super happy. I'm gonna make a joke though. I wonder how close that is to the Maryland area where you're heading, because that might be you next year, literally looking for videos on how to deal with ice in your gutters, because you're not going to be in Guam anymore next winter.
Yeah, and just to make this a little more personal, that's how you should be, right? As we do this, our friend here found us randomly, right? We don't really know his name. It has his company name there, but my family, myself, right here, Shawn and I run a virtual company, right? Shawn's in LA. I'm in Guam. I'm sitting on an island right now. Why am I here? My wife is in the military, so we're here on a tour, but we're heading over to Maryland in 5 months, and I am going to be right in the middle of all this snow. So I will figure out where this person is at or at least learn about it, right? Maybe if I have a question, I'll be reaching out. We have a ton of people just reaching out to us for questions. So this is awesome. This is how you build your network, build your connection, and your reach online. So this is great.
So you brought something else up in that piece of just gold bar deliciousness, we'll call it. And while you were doing it, one of our clients is on, and she wrote this in. I'm going to pull in her comment and I'll talk about it, but then there's a final stat that I want to bring that just sums all of this piece up right here. So Mickey said, doing video has helped our company establish more credibility. The live videos show that we are real. nails exactly to what you were just saying. If our friend, the gutter guy, was doing a video, his cell phone, where's mine at? It's somewhere down here, right? Selfie style, like this, pointing things out, unproduced, but knowledgeable. It immediately brings a connection to you to say, hey, I like this guy. I trust him. Some good knowledge. I needed help with that, right? And I'm bringing that up because the survey that was done and discussed, they asked a question around explainer videos, which is basically what you're just saying, how to fix this problem. Or as Mickey's saying here, the videos that they do, she does a ton of walkthrough videos on rehab projects, real estate projects, this type of stuff. Explainer videos have been a massive success. An overwhelming majority of people, 94%, report watching explainer videos to learn more about a product or service. Let that sink in for a second. 94% of the people they talked to said, yes, we watch explainer videos on a product or on a service. The crazy aspect of this whole thing, 84% of them said it swayed them to make a purchase decision. 96% watched the explainer video. 84% said because of that, they made a purchasing decision. That's power right there. Powerful. It kind of goes back. I think you said it perfectly when you said they're more likely to watch than read. And this goes to what we joke about here at Top Results all the time. We joke that your side speaks to the computer, the algorithm. It's really the blog, the writing, the content, right? It's more there to feed the robots, the spiders of Google and the search engines. Yes, there are readers out there they'd rather read. That's what that's there for. The video, that's the personality side. That's the brand, right? That's who it is. That's the human connection that we always joke about is my side of the equation over here.
That's Shawn. that's Shawn. The forward facing. But no, absolutely, man. That's those are great points because with video, I mean, like I said, it's an easier way to have that one-on-one connection at a digital kind of like arena where we're playing right online. That is the closest you're going to get to someone you don't know that might be across the world, across the nation, wherever they might be, where you can connect with them across the street, right? Across the town that might not know you. That's what someone like our friend here with the gutter. And I love that he chimed in. We were able to use it as an example. Perfect. Not everybody in that town might know him, right? As the guy that's the go-to for gutters. So someone across his city there might find him and might hire him if he has information, videos around what he does, content on his website about what he does. So this is awesome. This is exactly where you guys need to be, what you guys need to be doing if you want to start driving more eyeballs to your brands.
Absolutely. So I want to end with this part. Let's leave everybody with a little bit of action that they can take. Obviously, I mean, we've pounded it in enough. I think that video's not going anywhere. It's on an uprise. Your business is either going to compete and do it, or they're not going to do it and not compete. I mean, plain and simple, right? So we've got a brand new business or brand new to video out there. Let's give them kind of the go-to. Where would you get started? What would be the first types of videos that you would suggest somebody sits down and starts to put together? Again, doesn't have to be high production, but these would be out of the gate what I would say, let's get some created.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you the simple playbook right here. So get your pencils ready, right? So here we go. So say I'm going to use this gutter company. They chimed in, so they're going to get the gold bars here. So basically what I would do is, going back to what I said like 3 or 4 times on this podcast already, is make a list. The first place I would probably go is to your clients, right? So to your clients or prospects or whatnot. Where do you get those questions? Is from your sales calls, meetings or whatnot. So think back to your calls during a sales call, sales meeting, and see what are they asking you, because They're probably asking a ton of questions. I want you guys to write those down, those questions. Boom, boom, boom. That's number one. Make a list. Don't make it too big. If you're just getting started testing this strategy out, make a small list. Get like 10 to 20. Let's start small. From there, I want you to take that question, right? Those questions exactly how you have it, and I want you to put it into Google, a Google search. Boom. I want you to run that search, and then you're going to see a result of how much competition, the quality of the competition. What I mean by that, the results, who's ranking number 1, 2, 3, 4. Focus on page 1. There's 10 results on page 1. I want you to go and look at all 10 of those results for the one question, right? So this is for one question. You're going to do it for all the questions. For one question, you're going to look at all those. That's going to give you a benchmark of what type of information you should be putting on there. And the reason I say that is because if you put that question into Google, Google's literally telling you what they are currently awarding, right? What I mean by that, what they're currently ranking, what Google feels is important for the user, for the searcher that's searching for this question. So I usually like to read them all on page 1 and then really focus on what they talked about and have an outline on my other side, right? I have an outline and I start taking all the important topics that jump out at me off of all that content, right? So I start making an outline with all those topics so I know where to start. From there, once I have all those topics written out on my outline, then I can either do it myself or I can outsource it, right, to a writer and have them create me the ultimate piece of content that will compete. Essentially, what I mean, that's better than anything that's on page 1. One little key kind of gold bar that I'll throw out here is do a word count. How many words does your competition are using on that page 1, right? So you go through all 10. If they're using, say, on average, they're using about 1,000 words, then go about 500 words more, right? So you're going to build a piece of content. Boom. And you're going to add that to your website. So that's the first thing. So now you're going to have something that's talking about that question on your website, essentially in either a service page or a blog post. So from that topic, you will then go and film a video, right? You're going to supercharge this piece of content. You're going to create a video that's literally reiterating what you just wrote for that question. Okay. Once you shoot that video, it can literally be exactly, you can use the outline that you just wrote, right? The written version. You can use that outline to do your video. And even don't try to kind of follow it, make it too structured or anything. Walk around the house, show about, the gutters, if we're talking about this gutter company, and just go, as long as you have it. Then you're going to upload that to YouTube. And the question, the exact question needs to be the title of the video. Okay. Even more, if you want to optimize it even more, you can append or add to the end of the question the city that you're in, right? So it's localized. YouTube allows you to geotag your video once it's on YouTube. You can actually I highly recommend that, because if you're a local business, then you want to make sure that YouTube kind of knows that you're there and Google knows that you're there, because Google's going to look at this as well. And then in the description on YouTube, in the description, you're going to want to put that question, and you're going to want to sprinkle in some what we call keywords, right? So keywords are going to be something that's going to be up to you. That takes a little more work, but I'm going to keep it simple. All you want to do is sprinkle in some terms that you feel are associated with that question in the content itself. And then the final thing that you'll do, that's the real power, you're going to put a link in the description of YouTube, and you're going to link it back to the page on your website, not your homepage. You're going to link it to that blog post that's talking about that question that you wrote about. And then the absolute bonus that you can do is you take the embed code that YouTube provides, and then you take the embed and you embed it onto your blog post on your website. What you just done is create a little ecosystem around that one question. You kind of saw there's a lot of steps to one question, but you optimize. Now you put yourself ahead of the game. Do you think your competition is doing this much work to rank for one question? But guess what? They probably not. And if you do, you go above and beyond and you do these steps and you own that question, you rank number 1, you're going to have the best possibility. You're putting yourself in a position to win the traffic for the people that are searching for that keyword or that question, to then try to sell them on your service or product, right? So that's kind of like the full-on step-by-step on how to create, how to optimize, and really how to put yourself in front of your competition around a certain question. You would do that for all your questions. So hopefully that helps out. No, it was a lot there, but yeah, go for it, Shawn.
That was definitely a bag of gold bars right there. The only thing I would add is, just like Roger said, throw it into Google, take a look at the first 4 or 5 of the content pieces that are ranking to get from a word, count, number one, but verbiage. Do the exact same thing over on YouTube. Throw that same question into YouTube. And more importantly, what you're looking for here is, how long are those videos that are showing up in that search result? What are those videos like? Watch a couple of them. See what the people that are ranking for that search query, right? That question, what kind of videos are they making? Is it them sitting in a chair in front of a camera? Is it, to Roger's point, the gutter company where the guy's up on the ladder having the conversation? This will give you some ideas of how you can make yours stand out a little bit more. Again, content is always going to be king. If you're delivering valuable knowledge and it's coming in clear, right? It's clearly written, it's clearly said on a video, people are going to love it. If your content, I don't care how flashy your video looks, if your content sucks, they're not going to pay attention very long. So use those as another option to just get a quality check or an idea of what you could do. And then at the end of the day, just be you. Put your brand, your flair, your fun. Like, we've coined this thing when we kicked off the Web Buzz podcast, that we were going to drop gold bars, screw gold nuggets. It took me a few episodes. We finally got the video, but that's the thing, right? That's the fun side of
We got it.
Roger and I. Like, we don't even waste our time on gold nuggets. We bring the whole entire bar and drop the bar on you for it. So be you. Bring your brand into that video, as well as bring it into the writing of it. So anything you want to end us with before we sign her off?
I think we're good. No. I think I want to thank everybody that's listening, that's hopefully taking some notes and taking some action here. But yeah, I think today's episode was huge, right? For video, the trends here on the Web Buzz podcast, we want to keep on those trends, what's happening, put them in front of you guys, and make sure that you guys know where you need to take action to get the results you need. So hopefully that was helped out. And then, yeah, just happy to be here and start dropping some gold bars, man. It was always fun.
Before we go, Mickey did throw this comment in. It's more of a question. What's the ideal length of a video? I can do an entire episode just on this topic, but I'll leave it with this so that we don't go too much longer here. Your video length should be long enough to clearly answer the question. In today's case, what we're giving you guys as kind of the go-to playbook to get it started. If you're answering a question, it just needs to be long enough to clearly answer the question, right? And move that individual to the next step. Obviously, we can get a whole lot deeper into what's the best for doing it live video versus pre-recorded versus YouTube tutorial. I mean, there's a lot of if thens and buts that's to throw in there. But at the end of the day, if you just got started and said, hey, I answered the question, I answered it clearly, I didn't short the answer, but I also didn't blab and blab and blab, then your length's going to be good. You can refine it as time goes on. So wonderful question, Mickey. Great topic idea for some things coming up. Maybe we'll do an episode where we talk about what's the length of a good blog answering a question, vice the more of a pillar piece of content compared to the video, compared to other elements of things. So as Roger said, we want to thank everybody that is tuning in live. If you happen to jump in towards the tail end of the show, we go live every single Wednesday here on Facebook, multiple different places on Facebook, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live version, you can't join us live. Do check out the Top Results Consulting website, topresultsconsulting.com. You'll see the little podcast section. Click on it. All the episodes are there. You can go and check them all out. And to Roger's point, they're kind of amplified. There's some content on each page. There's an embedded video on each page. If you just want to listen to us while you're doing your workout, or maybe Roger's voice serenades you at night while you go to sleep, you can listen to the audio podcast.
Wow, that's a good one. If it does, oh wow.
maybe
I just had to do a podcast instead of singing, so hopefully, Yeah, I got kicked out of the karaoke bar, so now I'm here with Shawn.
There you go. It's the B club, not the A list. But as you can see on the top of the screen, you can catch the audio version out there on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, Google, pretty much anywhere that major podcasts are put out there. You can catch the audio pieces for every episode. So until next time, until next week, as we say all the time, we wish you guys the best. Get out there, take action, make it happen. And as always, here's to your success.